Are you around, Mr. Ventura? Mr. Joshua Joriel Makabili. Where are they? Nakamark sila itong present. Mr. Jason Adolfo Robiños.
Present, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Morning. Mr. Jason Adolfo, Mr. Rani Rafael Santiago. Are you around? Mr. Daniel Hans Matthew Rodrigo. Mr. Carl Matthew Villanueva. Mr. Aaron Salientes. Please take the seat in front. Mr. Zimon or this Simon Padro. Mr. Jose Miguel Salamat. Marcelino Bagtang. Mr. John Paul Solano.
Good morning po, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning. Saan ba si John? Yeah. Hindi na kita nakilala. Mr. Ralph Trangia.
Good morning po, Your Honor.
Good morning. Police Chief Superintendent Joel Napoleon Coronel.
Good morning, Your
Good morning. Attorney Maria Cristina Layusa. Morning, ma'am. Prosecutor General George Catalan.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning, PG. Attorney Alan Christopher Agati. All the others who were called earlier na hindi nagpunta rito, kindly occupy the seats in front. Kasi naka-highlight kayo rito na present eh. Yeah, okay. Okay. The chair acknowledges the presence of Senator Subiri and Senator Grace po. Magandang umaga sa inyo. This is the resumption of the hearing of the joint public hearing on the privileged speech of the Honorable Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri on the death of Horacio Atio Castillo III due to hazing delivered on September 20, 2017 and the legislative measures concerning amendments to the anti-hazing law. The committee is in receipt of a letter from Mr. John Paul Solano dated October 18 stating among others his appeal to reconsider the resolution adopted by the Senate as a body authorizing to make public his testimony during the executive session last September 25. While the reasons stated here are well taken, as per our rules, only a sitting senator who voted in favor of the resolution may file a motion for reconsideration within a 48-hour period. So, and of course, we'll respect your decision now and maybe later to invoke your right against self-incrimination. That's your basic right. With that, we'd like to hear from the proponent, the main author of that resolution, Senator Migsubiri. Your comment, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Lacson, to the members of the committee. I want to address my question to Mr. Solano. Mr. Solano, ginagago mo ba ang aming committee?
No, Your Honor po.
Do you want to disrespect our committee?
No, Your Honor.
Well, let me put on record the many instances where you testified right there on that seat that during the preliminary investigation of this incident, you many times in your last sworn statement here in the committee said that you will release your sworn statement of what had transpired that morning when Acho Castillo had died. Now I ask you again, ginagago mo ba yung committee na ito? Dahil 2 beses na at ilang beses na po may panahon na pagbigay po ninyo ng inyong sinalaysay, sworn statement or nakita dito doon sa nangyaring yung incidente yun at hindi nyo ginawa. What is your reason, Mr. Solano?
Your Honor, with all due respect po, no, my answer to that question is no po. During October 4 po, I am ready to present my counter affidavit as well as to prescribe my witnesses that time. What happened was beyond my control. The complainants manifested that they would submit a supplemental affidavit or complaints that time. So they prayed for the hearing to be moved. So that time I did not file my counter affidavit due to the fact that they would put or add a supplemental complaint. So I am still begging Your Honor that you give me some time. After the 24 that I would file my counter affidavit, I will furnish you a copy
Mr.
of
Chairman,
my sworn
Mr.
counter
Chairman.
affidavit. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, many times during the committee hearing and in executive session, the gentleman, Mr. Solano, had promised the committee, promised the members of this honorable body, that he wants to tell the truth and set it right. What I am worried about, Mr. Chairman, that in the span of the 2 to 3 weeks that had transpired, it seems that things have changed. His mood has changed. As a matter of fact, for the record, when this individual, Your Honor, this colleague of yours had gone to so many interviews, we had been bashed. The Senate had been bashed and accused of a cover-up itself by allowing the testimony in executive session and not releasing it to the media and to the public. As a matter of fact, in one interview in DZMM, tinanong po ako ni Ma'am Karen Davila na hindi kaya kumu-cover up din po kayo dahil alam nyo ng pangalan at binanggit na po sa inyo ni Mr. Solano kagabi. And I told her that we must respect the rules of executive session, but what is important is that the committee knows the truth. And we can actually cite you in contempt for not abiding by the promises that you made during executive session. But you know, Your Honor, I believe that citing him in contempt and detaining him in the Senate is a useless exercise. I don't even think we should spend 1 centavo to feed this gentleman for lying to us. It's not worth it. Under our rules, Mr. Chairman, under Section 28, Section 1 to 8, the President as well as the senators and officials and employees of the Senate shall absolutely refrain from divulging any of the confidential matters taken up by the Senate and all proceedings which might have taken place in the Senate in connection with the said matters shall be likewise considered as strictly confidential until the Senate by 2/3 vote, or in this case 16 members, of all its members decides to lift the ban of secrecy. When I approached all of you last week, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, it was unanimous, Mr. Solano. All the members of the Senate, although Senator Grace, at that time, she was not feeling well, she was sick, she had told me that she's in full support of the resolution, and even Senator Laila de Lima had said that she would have signed. And that's why we're putting that on record. To release your testimony to the public so that we will no longer cover up any injustice done to the Castillo family. So now, Mr. Solano, I ask you one more time. I asked you this during the committee hearing. Do you believe that the truth shall set you free? You may answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
We give you one more chance. Are you willing, in this hearing today, to release your sworn statement at ibigay dito, point by point, what had happened and transpired that morning?
Your Honor, with all due respect po, no, I am bound due to the cases that have filed against me. And there's an ongoing preliminary investigation. So I would invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Well, Mr. Solano, you kept invoking that right because you were being processed inquest proceedings. And I clearly recall you said, in our hearing, Senator Lacson and Senator Sherwin Gatchalian were there at that time and said, including your lawyer, had said, bawiin lang nila yung inquest proceeding, mag-file sila ng preliminary investigation, ibibigay namin kaagad ang aming sworn statement. Very proud kayo nun. And your lawyer. Clearly, with one more witness, Senator Bam Aquino, together with the stenographers and members of the Senate staff. So I ask you one more time, are you willing? Two preliminary investigations have transpired. Are you willing to divulge to this committee what had happened and transpired that morning during the death of Acho Castillo?
Your Honor, that time when I said that when they filed the preliminary investigation, if they would file that cases outright, I would submit my counter affidavit. But what happened is, again, it's beyond my control. They manifested to move it.
No, Your Honor. I don't believe it's beyond your control. Ginagago mo lang talaga kami. I think you were prevailed upon by your brothers. I'm sure that is what had transpired. And therefore, Mr. Chairman, let's forget this. Let's no longer allow this, the disrespect of this committee. And I move to release the testimony of Mr. Solano that he had given during executive session, authored and approved by 21 members of this honorable body. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, before we act on the motion, Senator Gatchalian is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Alam mo, Mr. Solano, doon sa executive session natin, paulit-ulit mong sinabing na gusto mong tumulong, gusto mong mag-cooperate. In fact, natatandaan ko yung sinabi mong cooperate. Pero noong October 9, 2017, nag-file ka ng motion to quash search warrant and to exclude illegally seized personal properties, documents, and evidences. Bakit mo gustong itapon yung mga ebidensya na makakahanap ng katotohanan? Gusto mo mag-cooperate, gusto mong tumulong, pero nakapagtaka, yung mga ebidensya na makakatulong maghanap ng katotohanan at hustisya para kay Acho, ay gusto mong itapon. Kaya kami po ay nadidismaya dahil iba-iba yung sinasabi mo. Sa action mo, iba yung lumalabas sa bibig mo, pero iba rin yung ginagawa mo. Kaya sana pag-isipan mo mabuti ito dahil during the executive session, talagang madetalye naman yung binigay mo. At ito lang ang makakatulong sa'yo. No? Para ito ang makakatulong sa iyo at makakatulong sa Castillo family makahanap ng hustisya. Sana pag-isipan mo mabuti ito dahil marami tayong gustong tumulong at alam ko gusto mo rin tumulong dito. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Senator Grace po is recognized.
Magandang umaga, Mr. Chair, at sa inyong lahat. Unang-una, hindi po ito magiging kauna-unahang pagkakataon kung saan ilalabas ang mga iminungkahi noong executive session. Nagkaroon na rin po tayo ng ganyang klaseng sitwasyon noong nagkaroon ng mamasapan o hearing kung saan ilan din pong executive session ang ginanap Pero ang mga pinag-usapan doon ay inilabas namin. Ang hindi lang namin nilabas ay ang pangalan ng mga informants at assets on the ground dahil ang kanilang kaligtasan ay maaaring makompormiso. Pero inilabas natin sapagkat ang Senado ay may kapangyarihan talaga pag ito ay pinagbotohan ng mga miyembro na ilabas ito. Kortesiya na naghintay kami ng iyong salaysay at ang iyong sinabi na sana bigyan ka muna ng pagkakataon. Pero sa tingin ko, ilang araw na rin napalugit ang ibinigay namin at hindi mo ito natupad. Kaya sa tingin ko naman ay nasa tamang posisyon na ang Senado na ilabas yan, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Comsec, you're directed to administer the oath to those who have not been administered their oath yet. Please stand up. Yung mga bagong dumating lang.
May I request those resource persons who were not present during the last hearing to please stand? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this Senate inquiry? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Your Honors, with your indulgence, again, before we act on the motion, I think it's but proper to hear first, or the committee be informed of the status of the preliminary investigation. So with that, I'd like to recognize Prosecutor General John Catalan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honors and everyone. The preliminary investigation is being conducted by a panel of prosecutors, namely Assistant State Prosecutor Susan Villanueva, who is present, Prosecution Attorney Wendell Bendoval, and Prosecution Attorney Hani Rose Delgado. The case title or docket is MPD or Manila Police Department does spouses Horacio and Carmina Castillo versus John Paul Solano et al. NPS docket number X51 INQ-171-00124. The criminal charges are 1. Article 248 of the Revised Penal Code for murder. 2. Article 183 of the Revised Penal Code, false testimony in other cases and perjury in solemn affirmation. Number 3, Article 293 of the Revised Penal Code, robbery. And number 4, Section 4 of Republic Act, number 8049, or the anti-hazing law. The preliminary investigation was conducted last October 4, 2017 at 2 o'clock at the DOJ Executive Meeting Room. A total of 18 respondents were issued a subpoena. Counsels for complainant, spouses Castillo, Attorney Lorna Capunan, and Attorney Lino Capunan appeared. Complainant Manila Police District likewise appeared. Respondents John Paul Solano and Jason Rubinos appeared with their respective counsels. Other respondents did not appear but were represented by their respective counsels. Respondents Oliver Onofre, Daniel Hans Matthew Rodrigo, and Jose Miguel Salamat did not appear. Neither were they represented by counsel. Counsel for Respondent Solano submitted a motion to strike out from the records the judicial affidavit executed by Respondent Solano dated September 17, 2017 for alleged irregularity and inadmissibility. Complainants manifested that they will submit additional evidence and supplemental complaint in the next scheduled hearing. Last October 9, 2017, complainant spouses Castillo appeared with counsels Lorna Capunan and Attorney Capunan and Attorney Lino Capunan. Only respondents John Paul Solano and Jason Adolfo Rubinos appeared in the hearing. All other respondents who were not present are duly represented by the respective counsels. Manila Police Department also filed their comment on the motion to strike the judicial affidavit of Respondent Solano. The said motion is now submitted for resolution. Several witnesses for the complainant subscribed and took their oath on the respective affidavit sinumpaang salaysay before the undersigned investigating panel of prosecutors. Complainant spouses Castillo submitted 2 supplemental complaint affidavits for violation of RA 8049 or anti-hazing law and Article 248 murder, Article 183 number 2 for perjury, and PD 1829 obstruction of justice. The same affidavits were subscribed and sworn to before the said panel of prosecutors. Additional 25 new respondents were charged, including Dean Nilo Divina and other officers of the Aegis Juris Foundation, Inc. The next scheduled hearing is set on October 24, wherein submission of counter affidavits and controverting evidence by all respondents, including those newly added in the supplemental complaint. Subpoena were attached to the copies of the complaint issued to the newly added respondents for the said hearing, which is set October 24. Submission of supplemental counter affidavits for all of the respondents is also set on October 30. Although on October 11, 2017, respondent Alvin Disanco, newly added respondent included in the supplemental complaint, filed his counter affidavit in the office of Assistant State Prosecutor Susan Villanueva. I talked with Assistant State Prosecutor Villanueva, and the panel would request for extension of time in conducting this preliminary investigation, of course, because of the numerous respondents in this case. Also, I am sure that reply affidavits and rejoinder affidavits will also be filed by the parties. Unless or at the discretion of the panel, questions which are clarificatory in nature could also be asked. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you, PG Catalan. We go back to the previous question. There's a motion to...
Maybe ask if this can be utilized as evidence for
Later, siguro. Later. There's a motion to allow the chair to lift the ban on secrecy of the proceedings of the executive session held last September 25, thereby making public the testimony of John Paul Solano. Is there any objection? Hearing none, then the motion is approved. So, Senator Subiri, please proceed.
I believe we have a presentation to make, Mr. Chairman. Your committee had prepared the presentation for view to our guests and the distinguished members of the Senate. But I'd like to ask Prosecutor General George Catalan, in the interview today of Secretary Aguirre, he made mention that it is a welcome development and that this can be used as evidence against the gentleman named. Can you utilize this sworn statement during executive session? Can you utilize this testimony to help you in the case against this gentleman on the death of Acho Castillo?
I'm not privy, Your Honor, to the interview or the although as to the question as to whether or not the said testimonies could be made as evidence, I am sure, Your Honor, that we can utilize the same as evidence.
Yes, because for the record, many results of public hearings in the Senate have been utilized in cases, whether in the RTC, Court of Appeals, and even up to the Supreme Court, where it has been used as evidence to help bolster a particular case. So let us proceed, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Statement of John Paul Solano, September 25, 2017, Executive Session. Narration of events, morning of September 17. Mr. Solano, so the morning of Sunday po, I was not home, 6:30, may tumawag po sa akin. His name is O.J. Onofre, Oliver John Onofre. That's the first call na dumating po sa akin. So, syempre sabi ko, hindi ako pwede because every Saturday and Sunday, I work at my father's clinic. My shift would start at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Claire, is Mr. Oliver John Onofre present? Nasaan po kayo? Kindly occupy the seat in front. You've been administered your oath, di ba? So, do you confirm this testimony of, this part of the testimony of John Paul Solano, that you called him up in the morning of Sunday, that's September 17, di ba? Yeah, do you confirm that? Are you assisted by counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige, pakitanong mo yung counsel mo muna, Consul. By the way, Mr. Counsel, kindly state for the record your name and which law firm you're representing.
I'm Attorney Francisco Muñez, representing Mr. Onofre.
Kayo po ba member din ng AJF? Are you a member of Aegis Juris?
You're asking me, Your Honor?
Opo.
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. Oliver, o OJ, do you confirm this portion of the testimony of Mr. John Paul Solano?
With all due respect, Your Honor, I invoke my right.
Okay. Sige, Claire, proceed.
Noong first, ang tumawag sa akin, ang sabi niya is, Brad, punta ka dito sa frat library. Calmly. Sabi ko, bakit? Basta, punta ka. Sabi ko, hindi ako pwede kasi may trabaho ako dito sa clinic namin. Sabi ko, try mo na lang yung iba kung may pupunta dyan na malapit if ever, sabi ko. So, binaba niya. After that, while preparing my things for that shift in the morning sa clinic, tumawag siya ulit. Around 7:15 or 7:10 in the morning. Sabi ko, Brad, bakit? Sabi niya, Brad, kailangan ka talaga namin. Pumunta ka dito. Ano ba kasi ang nangyari? Sabi ko. Sabi niya, Brad, may nag-collapse. Sabi ko, sinong nag-collapse? Basta pumunta ka. So may sense of urgency na so that I took the initiative na pumunta na. So around 7:30 or 7:40, kinuha ko yung motor ko na. Umalis na ako ng bahay. So mayroon din akong text message sa kapatid ko, yung younger sister ko. Sabi ko, Jen, pakisabi kay Daddy, aalis ako ng maaga. Sabi ko, baka tanghali na ako bumalik. Yun ang sabi ko. So around 8:10 or 8:15, I arrived at the frat library. So pagdating ko po doon, I opened the door. I knocked muna. So tiningnan nila na ako iyong dumating. I opened the door. I found Asho was lying. By that time, hindi ko ma-confirm na siya yun. Sabi ko, sino ito? Pangalan, Hor. Because sa basic po ng first aid, paglapag ninyo po, kailangan ninyo siyang sigawan at tawagin sa name niya. So, SOP po yun. So, sabi ko, Hor, is that you? Sabi ko, Hor, naririnig mo ba ako? So, I was slapping him on the face. Tapos, tiningnan ko yung police niya, yung pupils niya. It's very dilated. Sabi ko, walang response. Nag-check ako ng pulse, wala. The first time, wala. Nag-check ako ulit. Yung pangalawa, sabi ko, baka yung pulse ko na iyang nararamdaman ko. Kasi i-stress na ako. So, parang takot na rin po ako. Chinek ko yung respiratory, wala. Doon ko nasabi na mag-a-administer ako ng CPR. So, I called one Brad na nandoon. His name is Axel Hipe.
Excuse me, Claire. Mr. Alex Mundo Hipe, kindly occupy the seat in front. Are you assisted by counsel? Sige. And for the record, Ano pong pangalan ng counsel ninyo? Maybe the lawyers, the counsels can just sit at the back of your clients. Pa-provide nyo na lang ng upuan.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Attorney Nina Herschelica Carandang from Tolentino, Corvera, Makasait, and Raig Law Office, Your Honor.
Kayo ba member ng sorority?
No, Your
Hindi
Honor.
po. Yeah. Alex, na-mention yung pangalan dito sa testimonya. Do you confirm this testimony, this part?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I would like to invoke my right po against self-incrimination.
Thank you. Clear, proceed.
Sino yung dinatnan mo doon? Ang nagbukas po sa akin ng pinto si Axel Hipe. Mr. Axel Hipe. Pagdating ko po doon, ang nandoon po si Arvin Balag.
Excuse me. Mr. Arvin Balag? Yes. Same question. Are you assisted by counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kindly identify yourselves o dalawa yung counsels mo. Please. For the record.
Good morning, Your Honors. Attorney Robespierre Ku with Attorney Stanley Gotohyo, most respectfully appearing as counsel for Mr. Arvin Balag.
Which law firm?
Broto, Ku, and Gotohyo Law Offices, Your Honor.
Are you also members of Aegis Juris fraternity?
No, Your Honor.
Hindi. Thank you. So, Arvin, please. Do you confirm the statement of
With
John
due
Paul?
respect, Your Honor, I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Thank you. Proceed.
He was on the phone with someone I don't know. OJ Onofre. Also texting. Mark Ventura and also Axel Hipe.
Mr. Ventura, are you present? Please come forward. Kasama na yung counsel. And again, for the record, Mr. Counsel, kindly identify yourself.
I'm Attorney Rolito E. Abing, Your Honor. I'm appearing as counsel for Mark Ventura, Your Honor.
Which law firm?
From Abing, Abrinica, Dagkota, and Associates Law Office, Your Honor.
And are you a member of Aegis Juris, for the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mark Ventura? Yeah, kindly respond to this.
With all due respect po, Your Honor, I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Thank you.
Those were the four na sumalubong po sa akin. Nandoon sa yung ibang question. Yung iba umalis na, wala na yung iba. I was not sure that time kasi dalawa po yung room nung Aegis Juris. Si Jason, nandoon siya, yung Jason Rubinos. Wala po siya kasi before noong week po na yon na-confine siya. Kilala mo si Trangia? Opo. Kilala mo ba yung face? Opo. So wala siya doon, pero yung sasakyan niya nandoon.
Excuse me. Mr. Trangia? You're around?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ikaw? Again, you're assisted by counsel? Yeah, kindly identify yourself.
Attorney Chris Gargantiel for Ralph Trangia, Your Honor.
Yeah. Law firm?
From Gargantiel, Ilagan, and Atanante.
Yes. And are you a member of Aegis Juris? No.
No, Your Honor.
Ralph? Kindly respond to... Do you confirm this?
With all due respect, Your Honor, I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Thank you. Proceed.
Question. So wala siya doon, pero yung sasakyan niya nandoon. Hindi ko po ma-confirm na kung wala po siya doon. Question. Hindi mo siya, Trangia, nakita? Opo, yung kasama ko lang po kasi yung apat na yon tapos tumawag lang po ng dalawang bagong Brad. So ang alam ko lang po sa kanila is names nila. It is Zach and Dan. So hindi ko po alam
Excuse me,
yung
sir.
surname.
Mr. Zachary Abulencia, are you around? And Daniel Ragos. Are they present or not? So they're not around. Please proceed. were they issued subpoena? I'd like to ask the COMSEC, yung mga na-issue ng subpoena, are they all present? They're all present. Okay, proceed.
So, iyon po. So, nung nag-affirm na po lahat na, sige, pupunta tayong ospital, ang sabi ni Arvin Balag, Chinese gen na lang. Sabi ko, bakit Chinese gen? Doon na lang kasi. Sabi niya, so he insisted. So, sabi ko, sige, doon tayo. Question, distance-wise, ano ang difference ng doon from the front lab compared kung UST hospital? Mr. Solano, mga 10 to 15 minutes na po ang UST depending on the traffic. Question, yung Chinese General, Mr. Solano, 20 to 30 minutes. If there is traffic, mga 40. Opo, to CGH. So going to CGH, nung wala namang nangyari masyado, it's about, I think, 20 to 30 minutes na travel po. Pagdating sa CGH, nasa parking lot po muna kami nagpunta. Since sila yung nauuna, sumusunod lang ako. Sa parking lot nagpunta. Sabi ko, Brad, doon tayo sa emergency room. Sabi niya, Balag. Ganon. Sige, dalhin mo na. Sabi ko, bakit ako? Hindi naman ako kasali dito. Kayo ang magdala. Hindi, ikaw na ang magdala. Ang sabi ko, teka, itatanong ko muna kung papaano. Lumapit po ako sa nurse station. Ang sabi ko, ma'am, may emergency po kami. Bakit? Ano ba ang nangyari? Pakitingin na lang po muna. Hindi pa pala yun ang nangyari. So, ang nangyari pa po pala, tinanong ko kung ano ang sasabihin ko. Since wala po akong idea, ang sabi ko, anong sasabihin ko? Sabi ni Arvin Balag, sabihin mo na pulot mo sa balot tondo. Since sobrang taranta ko na po na ako yung magdadala, nag-mental block na yung utak ko, hindi na ako makapag-isip. Sige, susunod na lang ako. Sabi ko, sige, go. Sabi ko, ma'am, may emergency po kami. Anong nangyari? Napulot ko lang po sa balot tondo. Hindi ko po alam. Sabi kong ganon. So, lumabas sila. Sabi, nako sir, dapat may maiwan dyan kung ano. Nung nandun pa lang po sa may door, sabi niya, nasaan na? Andun pa po sa parking lot. Dalhin mo dito, sabi niya. Teka po, papupuntahin ko. Kaso sir, dapat may maiwan dyan. So along the way, noong pumunta po ako doon, kasi ang parking po noong pick-up at saka noong Fortuner is ganito, tapos nandito po yung door. Tinanong ko si Arvin, sabi ko, Brad, kailangan daw may maiwan. Sabi niya, ikaw na maiwan. Bakit ako? Labas nga ako dito eh. Sabi niya ang ganon. Alangan naman kami. Sabing ganon. Sabi niya, Balag, ikaw na. Sabi niya, hindi naman yan maipapasok kung walang maiiwan. Di kayo maiwan, hindi, ikaw na. Hindi kami magpapaiwan dyan. So out of gusto ko ring tulungan yung bata, nagpaiwan na ako. Sabi ko, sige, I said some obscene word pero hindi ko na sasabihin kasi minura ko talaga sila. Sabi ko, sige sir, dalhin mo na doon, halika na. Sabi kong ganon. So dinala po doon yung pick-up. Tinabi po yung stretcher. Ako rin po nagbuhat at saka yung dalawang nurse. Binuhat namin palabas. Tapos sabi ko doon sa driver, sir, umalis ka na. Malamang kapag nadamay ka, magsasalita ka agad.
Excuse me. Si Ralph Trangia, anong pangalan ng driver mo? Yung family driver niyo? Kung sabihin you'll invoke your right against self-incrimination, ha? Anong pangalan ng driver ninyo?
Romeo Laboga po.
Ha?
Romeo Laboga.
Romeo
Laboga.
Laboga. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may we invite him in the next hearing?
Yes,
Testify.
COMSEC is directed to invite, including the two that I mentioned earlier, Sakari Abulencia and Daniel Ragos. Thank you.
Sabi kong ganon, hindi ba so malamang ilaglag mo kaming lahat? Sabi ko, hindi naman ako kasali dito. Question, sabi mo kay Mr. Solano, doon po sa driver, ang sabi ko, baka mamaya ilaglag mo ako dito. Alam mo namang wala akong kasalanan. Hindi, sige sir. Question, mukha ba siyang driver or estudyante rin? Mr. Solano, may edad po more or less mga 30s or driver ni Trangia po. Question, so yung driver po at saka ikaw, hindi pa yung mga Brad yung tumulong po? Mr. Solano, hindi po. Tapos after po noon, ipinasok na po si Asho. Pumasok na rin po ako. Siyempre, nilingon ko muna kung ano ang ginagawa nila.
Mr. How do you pronounce the name of your son?
It's pronounced po as Atyo.
Atyo. So, Claire, correct yourself.
Okay. Siyempre, nilingon ko muna kung ano ang ginagawa nila. Umalis na sila. Iniwanan na akong mag-isa. So sabi ko, I am on my own. So sabi ko, in good faith na lang ang gagawin ko. Ibibigay ko lahat ng details ko dito sa ospital. So ang masakit pa sa akin, iniwan sa akin iyong katawan. Sa harap ko, nire-revive pa. Hindi ko na-revive. Hindi ko nagawa iyong talagang gagawin ko. Ni-revive din ng doktor. Wala rin daw talaga. So doon na po ako, parang ang sabi ko, wala na. Hindi ko na-serve yung purpose ko ng pagpunta doon. Iniwan pa ako ng mga brads ko, hindi ba? So sabi ko, there is no point to lie about my personal details, hindi ba? Question. So doon mo na sinabi yung totoo doon sa hospital. Mr. Solano, opo. Sabi ko, there is no point lying na din. Sabi ko, pagka nagsinungaling pa ako sa details ko, malamang lalo akong madidiin. Opo. So in good faith, ibinigay ko lahat sa hospital. Tapos yung story ng Balutondo, since hindi na ako makakaalis kapag wala akong ginawang story, ginawan ko na lang ng istorya. So, iyon na po yung sinabi kong istorya sa hospital. Dumating yung police ng Police Station 2. Yun na rin yung sinabi kong story. Dumating yung Homicide Division. Yun na rin yung sinabi kong story. Pinuntahan pa po namin ang homicide. So, while driving my motorcycle, iniisip ko saan kaya dito sa Balutondo yung gagawin kong story. Yun nga po ang naisip ko rin. Ang naisip ko rin, sabi ko, aminin ko kuya, sabi ko, sabi ko, aminin ko kaya. Kaso yung perjury case ko is, wala pong under oath yon, talagang pinupush. Iniwanan po ako nagpunta na po ako sa homicide, kinuha yung statement ko, pero hindi ko po yun sinumpaan. Pinupush lang na sinumpaan ko daw, pero hindi. After po noon, pinauwi ako. Pag uwi ko, sobrang hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko. Natatakot din ako sa parents ko since hindi ko masabi na may namatay, ganyan, bla bla bla. Tapos nandoon ako, baka kung anong gawin sa akin ng tatay ko. Lumayas po ako sa amin. Question, ikaw ba yung nag-text doon sa parents? Mr. Solano, hindi po. Question, iba pa yung nag-text? Mr. Solano, iba pa po yung nag-text. Question, clarification when he first met the parents of Castillo. Mr. Solano, Friday, sir. Question, noon lang, pero sabi mo, kilala ng father mo yung father ni ano? Mr. Solano, opo, ni Dean Divina po. Question, pero nakilala mo si Castillo prior? Mr. Solano, hindi po. Question, bakit tinawag mong whore? Mr. Solano, tinanong ko po sila kung ano ang pangalan niya kasi SOP po lagi sa first aid. Solano in hiding September 18 onwards. Mr. Solano, opo, along the way po, nagpunta po ako sa MOA. Doon na po tumatawag sa akin yung mga pulis. It's a Monday afternoon. Sabi kong ganon, sir, nasa MOA ako, ganyan. I made up stories na may kadil po ako, ganyan. Question, sinong kausap mo dito, Mr. Solano? Yung mga pulis po na tumatawag kasi iniwan ko po yung number ko sa kanila. Sabi niya, sir, may ano lang, may follow-up investigation lang, ganyan, ganyan. Pero nasa isip ko, pagka nagpunta ako doon, hindi na ako makakabalik, sabi ko. Malamang custodial interrogation na itong mangyayari sa akin. So, andun po ako sa MOA, nakakita po ako ng Victory Liner papuntang Tarlac City. Pumunta po akong Tarlac City. Along the way, tinapon ko po yung cellphone ko kasi napakarami ng tumatawag sa akin na hindi ko kilala. Tapos na-force po ako na matulog sa mga waiting sheds sa labas ng school, sa kung saan na. Ilang araw po, nakarating po ako ng Pangasinan. Moving lang po ako. Ayoko pong magstay sa isang city kasi pag may nakakilala sa akin, baka i-turn over ako. So pagkadating ko po sa isang city, sakaya ako agad ng jeep na papuntang baryo. Tapos doon po ako sa kalsada natutulog sa mga upuan sa labas ng school. Tapos noong mayroon po akong natirang last 700 pesos, pinambili ko ng cellphone. Tapos naka-SIM card, sabi ko, Dad, uwi na ako. Ayoko nang magtago. So he contacted Tatay Divina, the father of Dean, who then contacted Dean and then contacted some broads to help me. Question, what day was this already? Mr. Solano, this is Wednesday night.
Dean Nilo, will you confirm this part?
Yes, I spoke with my dad. My dad and the dad of John are friends, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dean.
This is Wednesday night. But, question, but Dean Divina, okay sa kanya na ilalabas mo iyong katotohanan? Did he encourage you? Mr. Solano, opo. Ako rin po nung sinabi po nilang si Attorney Pat yung hahawak, siya po kaagad ang tinanong ko, magko-cover up ba tayo? Kasi kung magko-cover up, hindi kita kukuning abogado. Question, naikwento mo ito kay
Attorney Ismakel, you're present. Will you confirm this? Please use the mic.
I confirm that, Your Honor.
And you mentioned that also during the public hearing, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Na talaga sabi mo, wag tayo mag-cover up.
Yes, and
Sabihin natin ang katotohanan dito.
my exact words to him, let the axe fall where it should fall.
Thank you very much, Attorney.
Question, naikwento mo ito kay Dean? Mr. Solano, hindi pa po. Question, so si attorney lang ang nakakaalam. Mr. Solano, opo. Question, clarification why he surrendered to Senator Lacson. Mr. Solano, at saka ano po yata, nakasama ninyo rin po ang father ko sa, Panfilo din po ang father ko, PCINP, nagkasama daw po kayo. Question, walang Brad na tumawag na itago natin to. Wala kang kinausap na Brad after that out of frustration? Mr. Solano, wala po talagang tumawag sa aking Brad. May isa pong tumawag nung nasa hospital ako, si yata. Brad, kumusta ka? Sabi niya. Anong nangyari? Sabi ko, Brad, hindi ko alam kung anong nangyari. Basta naipit ako sa hospital. Sabi ko sa kanya, okay, sabi niya. Akala ko hindi ka kasali. Sabi niya, there is a perception na hindi po ako sumasali kasi anti-violence ako sa hazing. So, since day one, after nung naging Brad ako, hindi ako sumali sa mga initiation rites ng kahit sinong Brad. Question. So, ikaw ba yung sa Facebook? Ikaw yon, Mr. Solano? Yung sa Popoy po? Yung hinahanap po ako? Question. Ano ba yung 3 hours detention? Ano ang ibig sabihin noon? Mr. Solano? Actually, ano lang yon, parang out of Taranta. Tinanong ko kung 3 hours ba yung detention. Question. Clarification about reglementary period. Mr. Solano, opo. Question, clarification kung si Arvin din ang nag-uutos na deactivate niya yung account, yung chat group nila. Mr. Solano, opo. Question, siya ang presidente? Mr. Solano, si Arvin po. Question, walang remorse doon sa apat noong pagpunta mo? Hindi man sila mukhang, Mr. Solano, parang nataranta lang. End.
Now, my question is, I'm glad that Attorney Pat Ismakel mentioned earlier na yon hindi magsisinungaling at bayaang bumagsak yung axe where it must fall, ano? And I presume na yung pa rin yung position nyo sa ngayon. Di po ba, Attorney? Jan? Yan pa rin ang position nyo na hindi kayo magsisinungaling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. But at the proper time, as you said earlier.
Yes po, Your Honor. At the proper time po.
Yeah. Pero ito na yung proper time. Andyan na yung testimony mo eh. And ito, part of the matter of public record na ito because this is public hearing. And the chairman or the chairpersons of this joint committee inauthorize na ng Senate as a body. So there's no point not testifying anymore because after all, in due time or pagdating na October 24, pagtawag ng hearing uli sa preliminary investigation, you will more or less, as you indicated in your letter, o yung mga material points, yun din yung testify mo, di ba? Yun ang sinabi mo. So halos ganito rin yung testify mo. Wala halos magbabago. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Ang question ko lang is, is this the way, hypothetical ito, hindi to directed actually sa inyo because you're not involved here naman sa initiation right, ano? But is this the way to treat a frat brad? Iiwanan, tapos yung isang tumulong, babayaan na lang? Is that the way to treat a brad?
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, before I start again, I would like to reiterate my expression of deep sadness for the loss of Atio and my deepest sympathies to the family of the Castillo family. Well, that's not supposed to be. It is not in keeping with decency, basic decency, Your Honor. It should not have been done. Hazing in the first place should not have been done. More so in that particular case, Your Honor.
Wag na si Atio, pwede niyong sabihin, hindi pa naman ito talagang full-blooded na brad kasi hindi naman natapos yung initiation right. Or kung natapos man, hindi naman siya nag-undergo ng the formalities of being a formal, being a member, hindi ba? Wag na, yun na lang ginawa kay John Paul Solano. Hindi ba napakalaking injustice naman? I'd like to ask the other members, the other frat members who are present. Jose Miguel Salamat. Is this the way to treat a full-blooded fraternity brother?
Your Honor, I respectfully invoke my right against that.
Hindi, tanong ko lang kung ito yung what are you incriminating? Tinatanong ko lang, just like the question that I asked of Dean Divina, tinatanong ko lang, personal opinion, ito ba yung, kasi frat member ka eh. Kung ikaw ang tratuhin ng tulad ng pagtrato kay John Paul Solano, how would you feel? These are hypothetical questions, so I don't see any reason why you should invoke your right against self-incrimination.
Okay, sir. I would feel like the way he felt. Like the way he felt.
Which is?
He was really sad.
Sad?
Yes.
Zimon, Padro? Same question. Is that the way to treat a fraternity brother?
No po, Your Honor.
Hindi ba? The others, kindly, sa susunod. Aaron.
Hypothetically, Your Honor, hindi po.
Hypothetically?
Yes po, Your Honor.
How about in reality?
Considering in the same scenario, Your Honor, I would definitely not treat it that way.
Arvin?
No po, Your Honor.
Hindi rin. Ralph?
No po.
Jason?
No, Your Honor.
Sino pa ba nandito? Yeah, Oliver?
No po, Your Honor.
Hindi rin. So ikaw rin?
Hindi rin po, Your Honor.
And Mark?
No po, Your Honor.
So mali ang ginawa ng mga dinatnan ni John Paul Solano doon sa frontline, di ba? Sabi ko, wag na munang pag-usapan yung kay Atio. Although, lalong masama yung nagawa sa kanya kasi dapat kinonsider na rin siyang frat brad eh. Nag-undergo na siya ng initiation right. I suppose, yun na yung final right eh. So, wag na lang muna yon. Yung, eto, buhay. si John Paul Solano. So nagkakaisa tayo, hindi dapat ganun ang pagtrato. Bakit ganun ang naging trato? In fact, alam nyo, this is a redacted copy, May mga portions doon na hindi na namin sinama dahil for brevity, dahil hahaba yung iba doon, medyo mga informalities. And pati yung hinaing ni John Paul Solano, pati yung kanyang lawyer, yung sama ng loob niya, nilabas niya doon. Na hindi dapat, isipin mo, brad din nyo, natiis nyo na natutulog sa waiting shed. Kung saan abutin ng gabi doon, matutulog sa labas ng eskwelahan. Sumakay ng bus, hindi alam ang direksyon. Pag nakakita ng jeep, sasakay ng jeep, kung saan barangay makarating, doon na lang siya abutin. Just imagine what he went through, yung ordeal. Tapos iniwan nyo doon sa ospital. Anyway, as he said, at the proper time, pagdating ng October 24, and I hope you won't change your mind as you did. Kasi ang pangako mo sa amin, wag lang matuloy yung inquest, di ba? And yung mga prosecutors dito, di ba? You were released upon inquest. Dapat doon pa lang, hindi ba nakaka-assuage ng sentimiento ng mga magulang kung sakaling in-all the way mo na yung ginawa mo pagtulong dito? Kasi nakita namin, simpatya namin sa iyo. Actually, ang simpatya namin nasa iyo eh. At that time, as you were testifying before us during the executive session, we all felt for you. Puro kami bleeding heart sa iyo. Pero ngayon, as mentioned by Senator Subiri, parang, bakit nagkaganon? And sabi nga ni Senator Gatchalian, what's your purpose para mag-file ng motion to quash yung search warrant? Ano ba yung mga defects ng warrant, Chief Superintendent Coronel? Ano ba yung mga defects ng warrant na sinasabi nung...
Yes, sir. In the application for the search warrant made by the Manila Police District, it was inadvertently indicated in the application that this warrant was purposes of violation of Section 28 of the Anti-Hazing Law of 8049. When in truth and in fact, the applicant meant its violations of Section 2 and 4. So it is a typographical error on our part, which have we already manifested before the court regarding this. And we have been informed that what is the controlling part on the application of warrant is the text and the body of the application, indicating that the search warrant was applied for specifically violations of anti-hazing law, indicating the name, the place, and the persons which subject of the search warrant, and the properties or items to be seized, confiscated, or recovered. Your Honor.
PG, Catalan, what do you make of this testimony, assuming that he affirms the same testimony on October 24?
Your Honor, at this
preempting your the resolution that your prosecutors will make.
Preempt the resolution, but at this point, Your Honor, may we request that a certified copy of this document be furnished so that we can
wag na lang kayo.
Have it.
Si Attorney Capuna na lang tatanungin ko.
Yes, Your Honor.
Para, of course, that's one-sided also. But later on, I'll also ask the lawyers of the FRAT members here kung ano yung kung anong tingin nila. Of course, assuming that he affirms the same testimony or at least yung material points. Attorney Capunan. This is the first time that you read this this testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what do you make of this testimony?
I think this is valuable information, Your Honors, towards finding what really happened during the event. Certainly, we would request as well a certified true copy, if not from the police authorities from the Senate. If I may add...
Not just valuable information, valuable evidence.
Evidence, Your Honor. I'm very careful with my words, Your Honor, because there seems to be a tendency to file libel cases against lawyers who make public statements, and I confirm for the record that Dean Divina has already filed 2 libel cases against us, Your Honor, just for speaking on behalf of the parents, Your Honor. And I hope that does not happen to all lawyers here, because if there are 40 lawyers representing 40 respondents, Your Honor, there may be a concern, there may be a chilling effect, Your Honor. So on behalf of the parents, maybe there should be immunity for the parents and for the lawyers for the statements made in the Senate investigation.
Okay. Senator Gatchalian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To General Coronel, sir, noong October 2, nagpadala ho kayo ng letter requesting for technical assistance sa Philippine Cybercrime Group. Is that correct, General?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the letter pertains to a request from your office to provide technical assistance for the exploitation of information on social media accounts of the suspects involved in the death of Horacio Castillo III. Is that correct, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
General, can you give us a overview of what transpired after the technical assistance provided by the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group?
Yes, Your Honor. During the course of the investigation of this hazing incident, we were in receipt of several information, particularly social media communication or exchanges of information, which we believe to have been published or reported or communicated by members of Aegis Juris fraternity members pertaining to the incident of the initiation and hazing of Horacio Castillo. So there were two threads which submitted to the Anti-Cybercrime Unit of the Philippine National Police for verification, authentication, and validation. And in these social media exchanges of information, it was indicated that several fraternity members, not only residents but also alumni, were aware of the incident of the death of Horacio Castillo, even on the early morning, in the early hours of the morning of September 17, when Horacio was brought to Chinese General Hospital. And because of this, we submitted it to the Anti-Cybercrime Unit for examination and evaluation, Your Honor.
Thank you, General. And subsequently, also there were also social media.
Yes.
General, I
Yes,
think
Your
that
Honor.
was also the subject matter of the letter that you requested from the Anti-Cybercrime Group.
Yes,
is
Your
that
Honor.
correct, General?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you elaborate further on that account?
Yes, sir. Apparently, social chat page or Facebook page was put up by members of the Aegis Juris fraternity discussing the ways, means, and actions that they have to take regarding the investigation of Horacio Castillo. And we have monitored that several members of this fraternity met in a meeting at a Novoto Hotel purposely to discuss their actions to be taken in this investigation. Based on the exchange of communication from these fraternity members, it would appear that the tendency of the fraternity to conceal or to obstruct justice is very evident. When they would like to avoid at all costs investigation and prosecution of this case, Your Honor.
General, isa-isahin ho natin. So, nakuha niyo information from Facebook chat messages.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you asked the Anti-Cybercrime Group to validate these chat messages.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino-sino po yung mga nasa chat messages?
We have submitted it to the
For
committee.
the information of Senator Gatchalian, we have a PowerPoint presentation of the Facebook chat that transpired, as you mentioned, sa Novotel, and andito yung mga thread nila. So, if you're ready, sige, proceed na muna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's better to look at the presentation, Mr. Chair.
Aegis Juris chat messages, September 17 to 18, 2017. Attorney Marvy Abo, Brian Bangui, Attorney Cecilio Jimeno, Attorney Alston Kevin Anarna.
For the record, ito yung mga nag-participate sa chat. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
sir. Attorney Ferdinand Rogelio, Attorney Edsel Bert Canlas, Attorney Cesar Ocampo Ona, Arvin Balag, Jose Miguel Salamat, Attorney Gail Dante Acuzar Caraan, Attorney Henry Pablo Jr., Attorney Michael Vito, Attorney Cesar Mong Gaba de la Fuente, Attorney Nino Cervanes, Ronald Cheng, Attorney Manuel Angelo Ventura III, Milfen Alvarado, Attorney Jet de la Peña Villaroman.
Mr. Chair? Yes.
Senator
Mr. Chair.
Zubiri.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Actually, the committee has been in receipt of this, what you call, screenshots of this chat group that was, I believe, very active during the morning of Sunday. And we'd like to direct the Manila Police District together with the investigating group to take a look at these screenshots, verify through your anti-cybercrime unit to verify these accounts in Facebook and to see if these are actual persons, who they are, what circumstances they're in. I believe most of them are lawyers. Kaya, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, kung ganito po ang ating mga future lawyers at yung mga abogado po natin active in cover-ups of crimes, I feel sorry for the law profession. I really do, Mr. Chairman. And so we direct the committee to come up with a report as well on these screenshots of these group chats, because it's the points being raised there. I read it one time last week, Mr. Chairman. The points being raised there are a matter of obstruction of justice and clearly a cover-up. Meron po dyan messages na inuutusan po ng isang tao na i-erase ang CCTV footage, na bayaran kung kailangan bayaran yung barangay officials para makuha yung CCTV footage. Obviously, this is an obstruction of justice, a clear cover-up on the investigation. So we'd like to direct the Manila Police District to look further into this. We will give you all the information. Hopefully, truth will come out on this. General?
Yes, sir. We have submitted already these initial findings to Facebook Philippines, and we're waiting for validation in order that the same may be used in evidence in court, if ever, Your Honor.
With kind indulgence of Senators, Mr. Chair, this is the first time I've actually seen the memo, no, but I haven't seen the exact conversation. Maybe request the good committee secretary to just give us a very brief synopsis of the chat that went through during that time, Mr. Chair.
Siguro i-highlight na lang yung mga importante na mga chat messages.
Earlier on, after the testimony was made public of John Paul Solano, I believe Prosecutor General Jorge Catalan Jr. had wanted to make a statement. Attorney Catalan, you wanted to make a statement earlier. You were raising your hands.
Yeah, I am just requesting that a certified copy of this document be furnished so that we can forward it to the panel, and the panel would likewise evaluate and analyze the admissibility of these documents. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, before we continue the discussion and look at the PowerPoint, General, can you give us a timestamp nitong conversation na ito para at least everyone's on the same page kung kailan po nangyari itong conversation na ito?
It appears, Your Honor, that the conversation...
Can you just walk us through?
Yes,
Familiar ka naman dito, di ba? As it
yes,
is
Your
being
Honor.
presented, i-annotate mo na lang.
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that the one being appearing on the screen is the one posted on sometime in the early morning of September 17, when the report of when Acho Castillo was already brought to the Chinese General Hospital, and that it was already confirmed that he's already dead. And also, if I may add, Your Honor, We have received this information only about sometime first week of October, and I'm relating this in the context that in the early part of our investigation, sometime on September 19 or 20, I understand that the Aegis Juris Fraternity came out with a statement saying that they will fully cooperate with the investigation of this case. In fact, in their statement, they promise full cooperation, and they're reaching out and still doing so to the family of the late Horacio Castillo. And that just like everyone, they would like to see justice to be served for the death of their brother Acho, and that they share the anguish of their parents, and that in that context, in that Aegis Utility Fraternity statement, we were hoping that they will come out and cooperate with us. I've already informed senior members of their fraternity, including the dean, that that's the objective of our investigation. But then, in light of the discovery of these chat messages, it appears that from Sunday, September 17, the objective of the Aegis Utility Fraternity is to cover up, conceal, to avoid and evade the prosecution of this case. So that is the context of these messages, Your Honor. Okay. Sir, this is it consists of about 38 pages, 38 slides. In summary, sir, if I may. Yes, sir. Of these chat messages pertaining to the early morning of September 17, there were 30 personalities mentioned or included in the message thread. Of the 30 personalities, 19 of them attended the meeting at Novotel on September 17, 2017, purposely to discuss the actions to be taken by Aegis Juris Fraternity relating to the hazing incident leading to the death of Acho Castillo. Of the 19 attendees, we were able to identify 12 of them through their Facebook pages or social media information. Of these 12, 7 are of the 12, 7 are still subject for identification. 6 were mentioned by the informants relating to this information or thread. And as I mentioned earlier, this chat started in the early morning of September 17. The group messenger or chat page was created by Attorney Marvy Rosero Abu, who was the one who spearheaded or initiated this exchange of thread, asking members of the Aegis Utility Fraternity to hold a meeting and in order to discuss the actions to be taken by the fraternity. So as shown earlier, we were able to gather the identities mostly of those who were involved in the thread and also identities of those who were added but did not participate in the conversation. Yes, sir. So mostly, if you're going to review each individual exchanges of communication between these Aegis Juris member fraternity members, it would appear that they intend to cover up the incident. Contrary to their announcement made on September 19, that they are willing to face the investigation and support the authorities in the conduct of the investigation. In fact, majority of them said that they will find ways and means to see that the evidence that will be gathered or recovered by the investigating authorities shall not be, will no longer be available to the PNP or to those who are conducting the investigation.
General, sandali lang.
Yes, sir.
Can we go back one slide? The other slide, the slide before that. Nakalagay dun, may nakala-highlight dun na pinauwi. Ito, pinauwi ko na GP Arvin sa Subic. Nasa hospital na ang bata. Clearly, they know what had transpired, and they're clearly asking or guiding the GP, I believe Arvin Balag, to go to Subic and leave the scene.
Yes, sir. And I think what is most relevant or material to our investigation is the post made by Mig Salamat or Mr. Salamat, saying that he was in possession of the cell phone of Acho Castillo at that time when these messages were being exchanged, and that according to him, that several calls have already been made by the parents of Acho Castillo to that phone, and they were hesitant to answer these calls, and it is true, it was confirmed by the parents of Acho Castillo that they've been trying to contact their son since Saturday evening and even the early hours of Sunday and even up to Monday, Your Honor.
General, I'd just like to ask the parents of Ateo Castillo to confirm this, that they were making several phone calls at that time.
Good morning. Yes, I was making several phone calls and texting my son starting Saturday evening pa lang, and then Sunday early morning, and then Sunday morning before lunch. Because of course he told me that he's supposed to arrive before lunch.
That was he promised.
He promised to be home by lunchtime Sunday. But I was trying to call him up. He never answered his phone. He never answered his text. And I was texting those people in the flyer. I was calling them, but nobody was answering. I was looking for the whereabouts of my son because I was already worried. Nobody would even tell me where he is. Nobody helped.
Nobody helped.
You know, we found out
Nobody helped.
Monday at 1 in the morning. Monday to, ha? 1 in the morning. Whoever texted me, and then I found him sa funeraria, unidentified. So tell me what happened during those days. Because you have to answer for all of that. You have his phone.
Bring it back. You know?
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
You have his eyeglasses. You have his watch. Bring it back.
Those are important to us.
Those are
Please
important
bring
things
it
to
back.
us. Those were his last things that I want.
Bring it back.
Thank you.
Sir, in
Continue, General.
summary, this can be established that in the early morning of September 17, resident members of the fraternity, particularly Arvin Balag and Salamat, who are already aware of the situation concerning Acho Castillo, have consulted with their fraternity members on what actions they will take, and apparently this was the exchange of messages between these fraternity members, and because of this, they met in the afternoon at Novotel, purposely, presuming that they will discuss what actions they will take, and that apparently from that day, September 17, up to this day, we have not met any of those persons involved, only until this very day that I were able to see the people involved in this hazing incident. So, to our mind, it appears that the agreement then made by those who met at Novotel Hotel was to cover up and to obstruct justice, Your Honor.
General, you said earlier, no, there are 38 pages of this chatter, no? In a nutshell, ano po talaga ang pinag-usapan ho nila? For the record, once more.
Yes, sir. In a nutshell, sir, there was a reported incident of hazing death of a neophyte in their fraternity, and then mostly they were already in panic on what to do. They could not agree where to meet, but then they agreed that they'll meet in Novotel, and then what actions to be taken. Some were in favor of facing this problem squarely and talking with the parents of Acho Castillo, and some, and a great majority, advocated that they just avoid and evade the prosecution, taking concern of having concerns for their fraternity brothers who were involved. Baka daw masira daw yung kinabukasan at ang future ng mga brothers nila na involved sa hazing, and that they need to meet. And then part of the discussion was probably to contact the family and probably reach an agreement or settlement with the family regarding this particular case. But nowhere in this thread will it show that they were willing to subject themselves to investigation. And precisely, I'm like to put this thread in the context of the fraternity statement made by them 3 days after the incident, that they are supposed to be saying that they are willing to appear before the authorities, give their full support and cooperation. So, in the past how many days since we found out this thread, they have not appeared before any investigating body, particularly to the Manila Police District. And we assume that the agreement reached by those persons seen on the screen right now.
Can you give us
entering the
details
hotel.
on the screenshots,
Yes,
General?
Your Honor.
This is what location, what day, what
Yes,
time?
Your Honor, this is the screenshot or the video taken of the Aegis Juris Fraternity members who met at Novotel Hotel, purposely to discuss the Acho Castillo case. And apparently, from the days that have last, from September 15 to this very date, there was no support or cooperation extended by that Aegis Juris Fraternity, contrary to their announcement, Your Honor.
General, ito po yung CCTV ng Novotel.
Yes, Your Honor.
At ito yung mga taong nag-uusap dito po sa Facebook chat.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the names of those who are in the CCTV?
Yes, Your Honor. It's included in my report. I submitted to the
In fact, they were invited, Your Honor. And so the chair directs the COMSEC to issue subpoena to them for the next hearing.
Mr. Chair, can we, once again, this is the first time I've seen the CCTV. May we direct the COMSEC just to name the personalities who are in the CCTV so that everyone will be enlightened who participated in this discussion on the day Acho died?
Personalities during the September 17, 2017, 5:03 p.m. at Elevator 5 after meeting. Cecilio Jimeno, Miguel Salamat, Edsel Canlas, Bonget
As
Rogelio.
the names are called, kindly indicate if you are present, because those who are not present and did not heed the invitation will be issued subpoena. So, as the COMSEC calls out or calls the names, kindly indicate if you are around.
Again, Cecilio Jimeno, Miguel Salamat,
Present, Your Honor.
Edsel Canlas, Bonget Rogelio. Sir.
Ito na ba yung mga nag-participate doon sa discussion or meron pa hong iba?
Of those who were seen in the hotel, 12 personalities had been identified, Your Honor, and we still have to identify 9 more. As mentioned earlier by the Chair, those present identified were Marvy Rosero Abu, Bonget Rogelio, Mong de la Puente, Edselbert Canlas, Mig Salamat, Cecil Jimeno, Brian Melbangi, Gayle Dante Acusar Caraan, Miguel Ventura III, Milfen Alvarado, Jet de la Peña Villaroman, and Henry Pablo Jr. And we still have to identify 9 more, Your Honor, and ongoing po yung investigation.
So 9 more ang hindi pa na-identify
Hindi
po?
pa, yes sir.
Mr. Chair, pwede ko bang tanungin isa dito sa mga... Ito si Mr. Rogelio is obviously nandyan. Sino ba yung mga ibang
Your Honor,
participate?
for the record, I was not there at that hotel, Your Honor. That's not me depicted in the photograph.
Hindi ba ikaw yan?
No, Your Honor. I have not been there at the Novotel ever since.
Did you
Anyways,
participate in the chat group?
What chat group, Your Honor?
The chat group we just presented. Is his name, was his Facebook page identified in the chat group?
Check my records, Your Honor.
while checking, Mr. Chair, Mr. Salamat, sino yung mga iba pang nag-participate? Meron pang siyam na hindi nakikilala. Sino pa yung siyam na yun?
Your Honor, I can no longer confirm who
Diba
participated.
nandoon ka? But you confirm na nandoon ka.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, alam mo kung sino-sino yung mga nandoon. Diba, nandoon ka eh.
If asked to recall, Your Honor, I can no longer.
Hindi mo na
I
matandaan ngayon.
can name some names, Your Honor, pero I can't assure you that I would remember all.
No, as far as your memory can remember, sino yung mga hindi pa nababanggit na siyam?
Was I can no longer recall.
We have here some photos. Can you identify them through their photographs, if shown to you? Mix ka rin ba? Mix?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, mix. Dito lang para pakibigyan mo.
Maybe if, with the permission of Senator Gatchalian, I just want to ask again, Mr. Bonget Rogelio, obviously it's in the thread, your Facebook page profile. Ikaw ba to na nakatutok ng baril? Yan ba yung Facebook photo mo?
Your Honor, earlier when
Profile?
it was being shown in the projector screen, Your Honor, I was seated at the back. I did not have the opportunity to examine what was actually being shown, Your Honor.
I will present it to you now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just confirm or deny that it is yours.
Paki-check mo na lang yung mga...
Your Honor,
Check mo na lang.
cases have already been filed against me, and
that.
I'll answer all allegations, Your Honor, pertaining to my case on the 24th.
Pertaining to your case, yes. But how would identifying those in the photographs incriminate you yourself? That's my question.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to request Mr. Rogelio to give back the document. That's our evidence. And you're not at liberty at this point in time. I just want you to confirm if that was your Facebook profile.
It would appear to be similar to my Facebook profile, Your Honor, but to be honest, Your Honor.
Are you a lawyer, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you part of government or you're in a law firm?
I'm connected with a private law firm, Your Honor.
Please state the name of your private law firm.
Abing Abrenica Dagkuta and Associates, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, can we have their oath taken? I don't think they were given their, administered their oath for those who sat down at this table.
Yung hindi pa na-administer yung oath, kindly stand up. Attorney Rogelio.
I already
Tapos na?
swore, Your Honor.
Nasa likod sila pero they were administered their oath already.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just want to ask, please, Senator Gatchalian, sorry.
One final word. Mr. Salamat, ano yung pinag-usapan nyo doon? Andun ka eh. You admitted that you were part of the discussion, your picture is there. So ano yung mga pinag-usapan ninyo?
Your Honor, I respectfully invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Okay. Pero identifying the photographs, the personalities in the photographs, would not incriminate yourself. So kindly check sa mga photographs who among those were present during that meeting.
Your Honor, that would mean that I am incomplicit if I identify them.
Implicit to what?
If I identify them.
Nag-uusap lang kayo doon, nag-meeting lang kayo, hindi naman kayo nang-haze doon.
Yes po. Your Honor, for the record, perjury and obstruction of justice was also filed against me, Your Honor.
So you don't want to perjure yourself here?
That's why I'm invoking my right against
Okay.
General, saan sila nag-meet sa Novotel?
Sir, in a function room in Novotel Hotel located at the third floor
So
of the
they
premises.
rented a function room.
Yes, Your Honor. It appears that they have a function room available to them.
Who paid for the function room?
We're waiting for the records check with the Novotel Hotel, Novotel regarding this, Your
Please
Honor.
submit to us the, after getting the information, please submit to this committee.
We will do that here, Mr. Senator.
Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to ask the counsel of Atio Castillo's family? I'm not familiar with rules pertaining to disbarment cases. It's obvious that many of these people in these chat groups, in their discussions, are lawyers or future lawyers. May I ask Attorney Kapunan, what are grounds for disbarment once proven that they're actual cover-ups or obstruction of justice cases?
I think that should better be addressed to Attorney Layusa.
Nandito ba si, is he member, is he
Sa, ano,
with the court? With the court.
With the court, yeah.
Okay. Attorney Layusa, my apologies, I didn't realize there was a member of the Supreme Court. What are grounds for disbarment, ma'am, at the very least?
Actually, the grounds for disbarment is it should be found in the Code of Conduct for the lawyers. That is impartiality, and another one is for immorality, and then the other ones are those that violations found in the Code of Conduct for lawyers. Or one of the grounds probably might be obstruction to justice, but somebody has to file a complaint against them.
Attorney, in the context of the discussion here, doon lang kami interesado.
Dito po?
Wag na po yung immorality kasi wala namang dito.
So ano lang po yun? Yun, obstruction to justice. But somebody has to file a complaint against these lawyers before the Supreme Court or before the IBP, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Dalawa kasing procedure yan. If you file it with the IBP, then the IBP will take cognizance of the case, and then after everything is finished, after hearing, they will submit their decision or resolution to the Supreme Court for approval. It does not mean that when a decision has been rendered by the IBP, it is already final. No. Under the rules of court, it has to be submitted by the Integrated Bar to the Supreme Court, either to affirm the decision, to dismiss the case, or increase whatever penalty was rendered by the IBP. But when the case is filed before the Supreme Court, the court will let the complainant comment or answer the complaint. Then it is immediately forwarded or endorsed to the IBP for investigation, report, and recommendation. It will now be the IBP who will hear the case. And once again, it is done, there's a resolution, there's a decision, the same is forwarded back to us, to the Supreme Court, for affirmation, dismissal, or a higher penalty, modification, and a higher penalty be rendered against the lawyers.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney, the reason why I asked this is in aid of legislation. We're in the process of strengthening the anti-hazing law. And we're looking at provisions wherein if they're guilty of any violation of the law, whether it is the higher violation of murder or even just lower violations of the law, automatic yung disbarment or removal from we're looking at possibilities of legislating that. If he's a doctor and therefore his license will be revoked, if he's an accountant as well as their license be revoked. If there's a lawyer, it's an automatic disbarment. The reason why I raised this, Attorney, is because in the Lenny Villa case, unfortunately, some of those who are convicted are, I believe, still lawyers and working in high positions in judiciary. Am I correct, Attorney?
Yes, Your Honors. In fact, some of them, they took their oath in the year 2004, 2002, 2010, and until now, some of them have not yet took their oath for the reasons that the cases filed against them are still pending. Our process at the Office of the Bar Confidant, for example, somebody was involved in hazing and a pending case is still of cases has been filed against them, and they apply to take the bar exams. So they have now a pending case. The policy of the court is to let them take the bar exams. But once they pass, we will hold their oath-taking. It might even take 10 years, 15 years, but the court will not allow them to take their oath unless the cases against them has been dismissed. Otherwise, there are instances wherein cases against those involved in hazing were dismissed. The court allowed them to take the bar exams, but they cannot take their oath until further orders from the court. So they have to file a petition before the Supreme Court that they be allowed to take their oath now. But they have to submit certain documents that will convince the Supreme Court that they are now of good moral fiber. So they will allow them to take their oath as a lawyer. So up to the present, Your Honor, we have 70,000 plus lawyers. But actually, there are still some lawyers which have not taken their oath because of their pending cases.
Thank you for the information. Thank you,
Before you proceed, the Chair acknowledges the presence of Senator Joel Villanueva. Morning, sir.
Mr. Chair, just to move on, General, Coronel, for the record, dito sa mga chat messages as well as the CCTV, nandun ba ho si Attorney Divina and the other school officials?
No, we were not able to see Attorney Divina in the CCTV footages, nor his name, or nor his Facebook profile appeared in this chat messages.
How about
Your
the
Honor.
other UST officials po, General? Faculty members?
There was an UST administration official, Attorney Alver Sosa, who I understand is the in-house counsel of the University of Santo Tomas, who was mentioned and included in the chat group, Your Honor.
Was he present during the Novotel meeting?
No, Your Honor, we were not able to see him in the videos showing the persons who, the frat members who went to Novotel, Your Honor.
I have a question. Dean, or the very Reverend Herminio Dagohoy, o kaya si Jonathan Santos, sa debarment policy, ano ba debarment policy ng UST?
Mr. Chairman, if I may please be allowed just very briefly to respond to the statement earlier of Attorney Kapunan regarding filing of libel cases. So we have filed 3 libel cases against the good lawyer and 1 against her son. It's one thing to make a statement about the case, but another thing to make malicious imputation that tend to destroy dignity, honor, and good name of a person that's been built painstakingly over 52 years, Your Honor. Now, in response to your question, Mr. Chairman, the grounds for debarment under our policies, well, we have various grounds. One is failure to meet the QPI. QPI means a minimum average to be able to progress to the next semester. 9-unit rule, meaning you failed 9 units in 1 semester. Or 1/2 load rule, meaning you failed 1/2 of the load for that semester.
So what's the required QPI for students?
It
for
ranges,
semester, I mean.
78 for first year, Mr. Chairman.
78 for first year, second year.
79.
And third year.
80, Mr.
80,
Chairman.
and then fourth year.
80 also,
80
Mr. Chairman.
also. So, may papakita lang akong table dito, ano? Yung, with the names, ano? I mean no offense, ano?
Sure,
pero iyan yung table po. If you can read. Based on this table, ten members were allowed to enroll, ano? You allowed admission for the current semester, 2017 to 2018. Pero kung titingnan natin to, parang 4 lang yung magkukwalify. So why is that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Is there another standard for aegis juris?
No, Mr. Chairman. If I may please be allowed to clarify. Mr. Chairman, it takes time before the grades can be computed. For a particular semester, the grades for the first semester were not yet available. So we sort of accommodated about 6 to 8 students. We allowed them to enroll for the next semester pending completion of the grades, Mr. Chairman. So if it turns out that there's a ground for debarment, then they'll be debarred the following sem. It's a benefit that was extended to 68 students, Mr. Chairman. It's not intended to favor one particular group, Mr. Chairman.
So, gaano ba katagal magsabit ng grades yung mga faculty?
Well, there were about 2 to 3 faculty members, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We did not submit the grades on time. And it will delay the enrollment, Mr. Chairman.
And this is preceding a 2-month vacation.
Yes, Mr.
So,
Chairman.
ba't ganun katagal?
And that's why attention has been, we have called attention to the concerned faculty members. And in one instance, we did not give a load.
I just can't understand, Dito, preceding dito, 2 months yung bakasyon. Hindi pa rin nakasabit ng grades? Hindi pa natutunan?
Yes, Your Honor. About 3 of them, Your Honor.
So that's a reflection of UST's efficiency, Reverend Father.
No, they will not be given a load, Mr. Chairman. It's a real problem in law school, Mr. Chairman, that grades are not submitted in time.
Well, alam niyo kung suspicioso akong mag-isip, baka kailangan para may mga magre-recruit. Mauubos yung members ng aegis juris pagka sinunod yung debarment policy, as you mentioned earlier. Kung yung academic standards susundin, walang maiiwan eh. Ilan? Ilan lang maiiwan? 4.
They will be debarred. Many of them will be debarred. Arbin, the GP, the head, and the head previous to him were all debarred, Mr. Chairman. The point, Mr. Chairman, is that this is not intended to favor or benefit one group.
The head remains.
68 students. Mr. Balag is already debarred, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, but they're still there, and they were able to recruit at you eh.
No, for the SEM, already debarred, Mr. Chairman.
For December, but unfortunately, September 17, nangyari yung kay Atyo. Kung debarred siguro, hindi na sila nakapag-recruit kay Atyo. Baka buhay pa si Atyo ngayon. Hindi ba?
Mr. Chairman, what I'm saying is that it's not intended to favor any particular group. In fact, 68 students benefited from this.
With all due respect, it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem so.
What is that, Mr. That?
It doesn't seem so based on this table. Because kung susundin natin yung debarment policy and compare it with this table, 4 nga lang yung dapat na andyan eh. Na-admit eh.
I was told by the faculty secretary about six students from aegis juris out of 68 sort of benefited from this policy, Mr. Chairman.
Anyway, sige, please, gentlemen.
Mr. Chair, if I may, in that particular
from
particular
another
point,
UST alumnus.
No, because Mr. Chair, if I recall, the last time I was here during the first hearing, during the first hearing, Mr. Chairman, I remember I raised that issue of website, if you would recall. And I remember after that hearing, I was brought straight to St. Luke's, Mr. Chairman. But I just remember, Mr. Chairman, during that hearing, we talked about it and we asked our dean from UST, Faculty of Civil Law, about that website. And I think I even asked if it is really Divina Law Office na nagmamanage po nung website. Kahapon, Mr. Chair, I tried to Google and look at the UST Civil Law website. Nandun pa rin po yung nandun pa rin yung aegis juris fraternity, nakalagay po doon. And again, Mr. Chairman, parang promotion pa rin ho ito. Hindi ko alam kung aware pa rin po ang ating dean, si Dean Divina, because last hearing I mentioned this. And unfortunately, if I'm in the shoes of the family of Acho, medyo masakit pa rin po. Nandun pa rin ho eh. Are you still aware of this?
Last time we checked, Mr. Chairman, it was not there.
Sir, you go to Google. This morning, yung staff ko went to Google again and it's still there. Baka naman...
But it should be removed, Mr. Chairman. It should be removed, Mr. Chairman.
It should be removed. Out of respect lang.
It should be removed, Mr. Chairman.
I think it should be removed. Thank you. I just want to raise that up, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Senator Grace, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, if you go to the website of UST, it's not there. But if you go to Google, it leads you to a site, and it contains all the history of the website, Mr. Chairman. But if you check the website itself, it's no longer there.
But you're the one managing the website.
No, it's Google, Your Honor, makes reference to the history of the website, old and current. But
So
if you check the website of UST, it's no longer there, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I believe, Chairman, Mrs. Castillo would
May I
like
be
to comment.
recognized? During the course of his maybe around last week of August to the first week of September, he was already researching about the fraternity and its connections. It's apparently it's connected to the dean of Divina Law. So that's why he was enticed. He was invited to join. He didn't apply. He was recruited. You know, it took him a while before he decided to join. Because apparently he didn't want to join. He joined because basically the picture of the dean was in the flyer. And he said, maybe I'll consider. Because of course, he's the dean. So that's why he joined. And unfortunately, this happened. We're giving this, we're submitting already the laptop of my son to show researches that he made with regards to the fraternity, its connections to the Divina Law, and all the other documents.
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to also ask a question to the Dean? Dean Divina, good morning po.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, good morning.
Dean, at the last hearing that we had, medyo magulo nun, several testimonies were given, and a lot of our colleagues had asked a certain number of questions. I remember a question was asked on you on when did you know of the death of Acho Castillo. I clearly remember, it didn't sink to me until after the hearings. I clearly remember you saying 12 noon, it's on record, 12 noon of September 17, which is Sunday. Why did you not immediately notify the parents of Acho Castillo?
Thank you for giving me the chance to clarify, Mr. Chairman. That was about 12 to 12 p.m. after I attended Mass that I spoke with our faculty secretary, and he informed me that a student died allegedly because of hazing. I asked him to get the full name and the address right away so we can talk to the parents. And I also told him to talk to the Father Regent to inform me about it. And around nearing 6 p.m., I got another call from the faculty secretary informing me that based on unconfirmed reports, the student carried allegedly the name of Castillo. I did not have the full name, Mr. Chairman, nor the address. I only had the surname. If I have the full name and the surname, I would have gone to the parents myself. But I only had the surname, Mr. Chairman. So I thought it's more prudent to wait for the confirmation as to the full name and the address before I alert the authorities. And obviously without the full name and the address, I cannot talk to the parents. But if I had those details, Mr. Chairman, I would have gone to the parents right away.
Who informed you, Dean?
The faculty secretary
At
informed
12
me.
noon?
No, 12:15 after Mass,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, our faculty secretary informed me that based on a confirmed report, the student died allegedly because of hazing. So I asked him right away, get the full name and the address. And nearing 6 p.m., we spoke again, and he told me that the student carried the surname of Castillo. But no complete name, no address, Mr. Chairman.
You know, Dean, it's hard for me to believe that your story did. I'm sure your brads had called you up by that time already informing you. Of course, your story is your story, and what we believe is what we'd like to believe. But as Dean of the College of Law in UST, it's under your watch. See, Senator Lacson was former PNP chief, and he headed units. And I'm sure if his men had passed away during operations, he personally would make sure that he would call up next of kin of that of their unit to inform them of the death of their family member. It's kind of hard for me to believe that you only actually approached the family in the wake. No call was made. As a matter of fact, it's only September 20, a Wednesday, or 3 days after Atio's death, which was reported by media, that you had visited the wake of Acho's parents. No call was made, no letter was given, no announcement. That's your watch, Dean. Di ba? Tao mo yan eh. Pamilya mo yan. That is your responsibility as Dean of the university. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, Chairman. I do not have the contact numbers of the members of the fraternity. I have kept my distance from them. I do not have their as I said, their telephone numbers, their contact numbers, their addresses. I only rely on the report of the faculty secretary. And I spoke with the mother of Atio on Monday, Mr. Chairman, through a former student, Claire Castillo. So I talked to her Monday and assured her that I will help in bringing the perpetrators to justice. And I went to the wake on Wednesday, only on Wednesday, because I was told that the remains should be made available for viewing only on Tuesday, Your Honor.
But Dean, the school records are clear. You have the last name, how many Castillos are there in UST law. You have the addresses, I'm sure, and this can be confirmed by UST. You have the addresses, you have the home numbers, you have the numbers of next of kin. I'm also a university. I graduated from University of the Philippines. They have all my details, my contact details of my parents. I had given them all. So it is impossible that the dean of university would not know one of their students. I'm sure your students are not numbering more than thousands. I'm sure they're by the hundreds. It's easily recovered. I mean, there was no push on your part to actually, that's what pains me, Dino. It only dawned to me afterwards when I remember even approaching you after the session and I said, please help in the speedy justice of this case. You promised. And yet no one of your members have come out to support this case. No one. Not even Solano, who promised to do it several times during hearing and in executive session. So, you know, you can't also blame us for how we feel na talagang nagago kami ng grupong ito. And I feel that justice should be meted out. And it's unfortunate, Dino. You could have done more. I feel that that day you should have done more to be able to reach out to the family and be the one to inform them, not through an anonymous text message. While for almost 24 hours, the poor parents of Acho Castillo was going from morgue to morgue, hospital to hospital, looking for a body of their child. Kung anak mo yan din, nangyari sa'yo, put yourself in their shoes. You people, you have brothers and sisters, put yourself in your shoes kung nangyari yan sa mga kapatid nyo. I believe Mrs. Castillo would like to, Acho or Ma'am Mini?
For the record, I've never spoken to Dean. Never.
Ma'am, I think Monday through Claire Castillo. I spoke with you Monday after.
I really don't converse with Miss Claire Castillo.
I used the phone of Claire. And
I never remembered anything that
Kindly address the chair.
I'm sorry.
Kindly address the
sorry
chair.
po.
So, Mr. Chair, are you saying, Dean, that you spoke to Mrs. Castillo through somebody else's phone?
I spoke with Claire Castillo. At that time, I wanted to ask.
Claire is the
Claire
sister.
is the, I think, Claire, relative of the Castillo family.
Sir, Mr. Castillo.
Claire Castillo is a first cousin.
So you cannot say that you spoke to the parents.
I was
you
able
spoke you spoke to somebody else. Meron kayong ibang kinausap, hindi sila.
I spoke with the mom using the cell phone of Claire Castillo, to the best of my recollection, Mr. Chairman.
So, Mrs. Castillo, you don't recall having spoken to...
I don't remember talking to him.
To the dean. I think
I remember one instant when my cousin handed me her phone, and it was the dean talking to me, trying to extend his help for funeral expenses.
And
That's
when
all.
was this?
This was already Monday around maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. But I did not accept the offer, Your Honor.
So perhaps this is what you're talking about, that you spoke to them Monday. You done?
Yes, I'm done. Please,
So, Mr. Chair, if I may ask my questions now.
Yes, please. Please proceed.
Unahin po natin yung NBI. Naririto ba yung NBI?
Wala na, Manila Police District.
O yung MPD lang yung investiga, no? So just para sa ating record lang po, yung kinamatay ni Atio Castillo ay dahil sa pangbubugbog.
Our medical legal findings show that he died of the injuries which we believed he has sustained during the initiation rites, Your Honor.
So what were the injuries were caused by blunt force, by hand, by paddle? Do you have any description of
Ma'am, may I ask our medical legal officer to explain the technical...
Sige po, paki-explica po.